I'm a candy type person.
What?
I eat one meal a day, drink one coffee, and eat like 3-4 bags of candy.
Man, define bags of candy, man.
What's up, guys? Derek, moreplates.com. As you would expect, we're talking about the one and only DK Metcalf on his ridiculous, absurd, nonsensical, fucking baffling, indeed, baffling diet model. He eats one meal a day, drink one coffee, and eat 3 to 4 bags of candy. So he went on Kevin Garnett's podcast. What a weird sentence. Kevin Garnett's podcast. Yeah, I remember playing with the fucking Celtics and I don't know if you can call them OG teams. Like, I guess it's just like, for me, it's what I remember when I used to play like 2K and NBA Live and shit. Is you'd have like Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, fucking Kevin Garnett were like the triple threat, and then you'd play against you know that era. If you're around, you fucking know. Anyways, so this is the podcast he was on. He talks about his absurd diet.
I eat one meal a day, drink one coffee, and eat like 3-4 bags of candy.
Man, define bags of candy, man. Jelly
It's
beans?
Nah, see, I'm a gummy type of guy. See, you get your lifesavers.
Come on, man. Stop, man. Come on, hold on.
So Kevin's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? And the comment section, we'll get to the full thing shortly, but the comment section is, this popped off. 532,000 likes. This is so cap, crying laughing face. So cap, bro. Fuck, crying laughing face. Yeah, cause bro definitely looks like that because of that diet. Dead face. Skull emoji. Bro, his one meal gotta be 4,000 calories. Crying laughing face. No chance. DK Metcalf. Okay, that was I thought that was kind of funny. Come on, Ain't no way he maintained that body weight with one meal. Fucking hysterically crying. That's gotta be cap. His dinner gotta be big as fuck. Future patriot. This is just not true. It sounds like he's gonna have a tooth decay. Another good one. Some clever fuckers here. No matter how much you eat in one meal, no matter how much you eat in one meal, it won't be enough to sustain that weight. Crying laughing face. Okay, so his stats are 6'3", 228 pounds, 1.6% body fat. And he has a 4.33 40-yard dash, 27 bench reps of 225, 40.5-inch vertical at the NFL Combine. He got a lot of fucking hype around him because of these numbers, and justifiably so. The guy is like fucking, I don't know, tying the best bench out of receivers in the Combine for the 27 reps. Fastest 40 time, apparently, and a body weight of, what was the body weight again? 228. Outran guys that are like fucking under 200. The guy is a fucking phenom and a half, dude. And it seems like it, runs in the family, I guess. His genetics, come from a line of NFL athletes, maybe not as, accomplished as he will be, during his career, but his father was a NFL player not that long ago as well, which we're going to get to shortly when we talk about if he is indeed natural or not, and steroid use, because you can't do a video on a guy with 1.6% body fat at 228 who has these kind of performance metrics without talking about hormones a little bit, Like, he has just proven to be one of the most incredible fucking athletes in the league. Like, look at this shit.
10 yards on a very fast Buda Baker, and he just cracked go.
Like, he fucking came out of goddamn nowhere. He's like on the fucking tail end of the field and then just catches up and devastates this guy.
It was unbelievable how much ground he made up. That had to be 10 yards on a very fast Buda Baker, and he just cracked go.
Insane.
Come on. 4, 3.
The announcer's reaction. He's like, come on, this isn't even fair.
Come on.
Absurd, dude. Fucking absurd. So, anyways, circling back to his 1 meal a day,
Drink one coffee,
and
eat like 3-4 bags of candy.
3-4 bags of candy. You know, Kevin's fucking baffled, as are you, as am I, as is the entire planet, that this guy, you know, is that much of a freak show while having a diet that is worse than, like, literally a little kid diet, bro. Like, this is fucking horrendous. So let's get into the full conversation and then, you know, dig into the steroids and the fucking diet and all that kind of shit.
Talk about how important nutrition is. Nutrition's huge.
I'm probably the worst person to ask that.
Dog, are you eating Popeyes, Churches?
Nah, see,
You from the SIP too. I know you be eating coon soup. Yeah, that's some shit.
I'm a candy type person.
What?
I eat 1 meal a day, drink 1 coffee, and eat like 3-4 bags of candy.
Man, define bags of candy, man. Jelly
It's like
beans?
Nah, see, I'm a gummy type of guy. See, you get
His fucking jaws just dropped.
your lifesavers.
Come on, man. Stop, man. Come on, hold on, man. So you finna go through a structure, a bag of candy. You about to go through the whole. Okay, let's hear this.
Like, it almost seems like a skit at this point.
So, all right, I'm just taking you through yesterday. So yesterday I woke up, worked out again, came home, showered. I'm hungry. Run to Starbucks, get a quick coffee. That's gonna hold me till like 4-5 o'clock.
Fuck the anabolic window. Go get a coffee that's not eat longer.
It's 12. So it's gonna hold me for like 4 hours.
By the way, that's like, it's like there is not really, as long as you get your nutrients in a 24-hour window, like don't really worry about it. But it's just interesting because, you know, you would think like you just broke yourself the fuck down. You would be like, you know, prioritizing getting, you know, your food in.
Around 4:30, I'll order some candy and a water.
No protein, candy. Just candy. Get that insulin spike to shuttle all that no protein in.
So I got, what did I get yesterday? Got the Skittles gummies. Then I got the Lifesaver Creations. They the same size bag, so I just mix them.
So it's safe to say we're gonna see a DK gummy at some point, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, y'all heard it. Another certified
moment.
Hey.
Yeah. Get the gummy, get the candy, get the water, eat that. That's gonna hold me to like 8 o'clock where I'm having dinner, 8, 9. And then I eat dinner, go to sleep.
Hey, look at Kevin's face. He's just like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, this is the most absurd 7-year-old diet I've ever heard of. It's like if a kid got put in an adult's body and he's like, you know, has access to Uber Eats and shit. Just like, this is how you'd probably eat.
That's an everyday thing. That's a Monday through Friday, Monday through Sunday, Monday through Monday. You know, you eating candy like that, huh?
Yeah. I'm a candy eater, yeah.
Any shouts out to other candies? Snickers?
No free advertising.
Free
No free advertising. No free advertising.
Oh, shit. Now I wish we had candy in here, some shit, man. At what point are we going to see in the NFL guys that are not good at being wide receivers turn around and become cornerbacks?
See, it's wild how they just transition to the next topic then. Like, I guess he asked for the details and he was like, what are you talking about? But it's like he realized he wasn't gonna get more out of him that like actually made sense of any of this. This is just like what he does, apparently. Now you have to keep in mind, he did not apparently always eat like this. This is something that he's saying right now. He's not the beacon of, you know, diet advice, I guess, because of what he does is, you know, suboptimal as fuck. But again, a lot of the progress you make can be sustained with like very minimal, I don't know, like even with anabolics, if you do a blast and you gain a decent amount of muscle, like you'd be surprised how much you can maintain with, you know, like borderline, just like high normal, like borderline super physiological levels sustained chronically. Like it's the putting on of mass that is very difficult. The sustaining of it doesn't require as much volume in the gym, doesn't require as much hormones as it took to build the muscle in the first place. Like you can get away with a lot more once you have what you've accumulated and you've banked up that like muscle memory. So for him, you know, he's already kind of like peaked his physique and kind of like gained all the tissue. So presumably he's kind of just like lax on it and is able to kind of like enjoy the fruits of his labor. And also he is a genetic hyper fucking elite specimen of a goddamn alien sent from some other planet, essentially. He is like an absolute anomaly in the league, and potentially has hormone assistance too, which we'll get into shortly. But again, his diet was not always like this. Like, if you go look, you can find interview with GQ back in 2019, and let's see, since December, I've woken up around 7:30, eat a big bowl of oatmeal for breakfast. And he talks about some of the other stuff he does. Really, I read you love to cook. I haven't been in the kitchen much since the draft training process, but I made some steaks for NFL Network one time. I like making chicken Alfredo, mostly Italian dishes. And he mentions here he's following a low carb diet, a lot of protein and veggies, had breakfast, something that doesn't sound like it's part of the current fucking structure. Today for breakfast, she had me eating a lot of vegetables, 3 slices of bacon, and some fruit. I try not to eat a lot of fat and oils. I stay away from carbs and sugar. Doesn't sound like the current diet at all. And he mentions in here that he has, like literally a personal chef. Here we go. I have a private chef. She has a nutrition sheet that I follow for my diet. I also try to keep the same eating habits that I had when I was training for the draft. So like, obviously when you're gunning for your spot in the league, you are probably doing all the right things. You want to make sure you get in and, get the highest, possible contract you could get and everything. And, maybe you take it easy a little bit after you feel like you've got it made and in the bag a little bit, or you just feel like you can take your foot off the gas. So like having a personal chef and a nutrition sheet that you follow, like obviously he was pretty regimented. And if you look on YouTube, you can actually find some videos about his insane diet and workout routine. And you think when you see insane diet, it's gonna be like, oh, the fucking candy thing, like this guy's insane. But it ends up being a lot of what is represented in this GQ article.
At the age of 5, DK Metcalf was already benching 50 pounds and squatting 100. Now at just 23, he's a 6'4", 229-pound freak athlete. His 40.5-inch vertical is higher than LeBron's. His 4.33 40-yard dash is the fastest ever by a player weighing over 225 pounds. And his 27 bench reps at the NFL Combine were better than 32 offensive linemen and 23 linebackers. DK has ridiculous genetics, as his father was a 310-pound guard in the NFL. But there's more to it than just that. Training and diet are instrumental in making DK the monster that he is.
It's almost funny hearing them say like how like on point he is with the shit, and then to go back to him.
I eat 1 meal a day, drink 1 coffee, and eat like 3-4 bags of candy.
And then back here, the diet is absolutely instrumental.
While good genes play a role in his insane athleticism, the work he puts in every day is even more important. So let's talk workouts first. Your average NFL player is working out 4 to 6 days per week.
Yeah, let's get to the diet.
Bacon? Throw in and inhales a massive bowl of oatmeal. Throw in piles of veggies, fruit, and bacon? Not bad for breakfast. What about during the day? Multiple meals, including chicken and veggies for lunch. Midday snacks of towering protein shakes with spinach, avocados, orange juice, and whey protein. And a dinner of steak and vegetables. But DK needs more than just food. Try gallons of water, strawberry milk, and coffee to maintain optimum energy. DK also follows an extensive nutritional sheet and has a personal chef to make sure his meals are precise. Even on cheat days, DK has mountains of food. Five Guys, a double cheeseburger with Cajun fries. Throw in chicken wings and pizza. He also likes to make his own chicken Alfredo. There's even more to DK's passion for food. From his desire to go to culinary school, to working in an Italian restaurant in college, he has a future in the business. After retiring from the game, DK plans to start his own restaurant, become a chef, and continue to grow his brand. Success on the football field is just the beginning. Taking in around 6 meals per day. DK wakes up
6 meals per day. It doesn't sound, too similar to the, current structure.
I eat 1 meal a day.
1 meal a day. So obviously not what is happening now, but is that representative of what he did his whole career? Doesn't seem like that is the case. Now, anyways, getting into like, he can get away with it, evidently. Most people probably can't who are in the NFL, they probably have a deterioration in performance in some aspect. And it's pretty, I don't know, like it would be hard to argue that like this is the optimal thing for him to be doing, or it's equal to the optimal thing. It's just he can get away with it. The guy's a fucking alien, like I said. But how alien, is he, using the Sazul? We've talked about the drug test parameters in the NFL before and how they're relatively lax, and without getting too far into it, they do not actually have USADA setting the PED policy. It is not an independent party. It is made between the league management and the players union, which obviously they have like vested interest in not having shit, go off the rails with people, testing positive consistently and having top athletes getting popped. Now they do have randomized testing, as we've seen, especially with Myles Garrett this year. He got tested multiple times. He had this to say, yeah, they are trying to clone me. Come get this blood draw done. I'll be there at 12. Another text, you have been selected for a performance-enhancing substance test. Please report to the drug testing room anytime after 8 a.m. The test must be completed by noon. Another time, he was getting tested for HGH. You've been selected for a random HGH blood draw that must be completed by noon, and they were letting him know at 6 a.m. Please confirm. I go sleeveless 2 times and get randomly drug tested both times. I try 3 for 3, but they can miss me with the blood draw, not the vibe. Sleeveless Miles is retired. So now, again, like, I've completely dismantled the accuracy of some of these bioidentical hormone tests, as well as even the synthetic pharmacokinetics of like derivatives of testosterone that are synthetic anabolic agents that you kind of just need to understand the clearance times, as well as which ones are stupid to be using. And again, oftentimes we see guys getting popped via stupid choices, Now, before circling back to the PEDs, it's actually kind of funny. I just remembered there was this this thread I accidentally came across, or article, I should say, when I was preparing for this video. It was NFL wide receiver DK Metcalf is living proof of the benefits of intermittent fasting. And it's like basically claiming that his routine of eating once a day and having the coffee and 3 to 4 bags of candy equals like good. Like, as if he was always doing this and this is why he's the way he is. Like, how much of a fucking reach is that to say intermittent fasting is the best thing you could be doing as a NFL player? Like, proof of the benefits of intermittent fasting. Like, no, he's just a fucking freak who is sustaining performance on what is a suboptimal shitty diet, essentially. Now, again, you don't actually know what's for dinner, too. Like, I guess he could be crushing like the equivalent of what he would be spreading out to 6 meals. It's just highly unlikely. The guy is definitely not doing the best practices at the end of the day. Like, imagine trying to digest and assimilate 6 meals worth of food in one sitting. It'd be pretty fucking hard. And then on top of that, your 3 to 4 bags of candy. Like, obviously, with how lean he is staying, it's pretty clear that the 3 to 4 bags of candy, like the other meal in there that he's eating, is not necessarily like that calorie dense to a point where you're going to be hitting the same micro and macronutrients ratios that would be ideal if you otherwise didn't have the bag of candy in there. So, like, he's getting away with it, but doesn't mean it proves the fucking benefits of intermittent fasting for a top NFL athlete. So again, I intermittent fast for mental clarity and for potential autophagy benefits and whatnot. And I do, 24-hour fast once in a while. But to like literally reach so hard as to say like, look, DK Metcalf, he does fucking 1 meal a day, 1 coffee and 3 to 4 bags of candy. That's why intermittent fasting is sick, because this guy in the NFL does 1 meal a day. Like, it just makes no sense. I'm surprised anybody would have wrote an article like that. Actually, maybe I'm not surprised. I guess it's expected at this point. So anyway, this guy's physique is absolutely absurd. This was him, I think, around combine time. This is, where the stats came for his, 6'3", 228, 1.6% body fat, which obviously is not 1.6%. You guys have seen Andreas Munzer. If you've been following my channel for a while, I'm sure he is the leanest bodybuilder probably that ever existed. He was like, 2% body fat legitimately. So this is like maybe 2% by DEXA or like whatever, tactic they're using to, assess body fat percentage. But like, it's clear this guy is, not even close to that. Right? Like, there's, by all means, he's fucking lean, but to be like under 6-7% body fat, like, you're approaching stage ready contest bodybuilder condition. I think it's pretty clear that he's not there, but it's kind of irrelevant at the end of the day. It's just one of those statistics that certain people pull out of thin air that are less educated about body composition and the ways to kind of, assess it accurately. But anyways, this is what he looks like. Absolutely nuts physique. Here he is. My dude is a wide receiver. This was a few years ago here. And his transformation, absolutely mind-boggling. This was apparently in the span of like a year. So wide receiver DK Metcalf pictured from the left as a senior in high school to the right in his redshirt freshman season. Hard work plus mentality plus Coach P. Jackson. You're welcome. And it's a pretty fucking stark difference. Here he is in high school. Yeah, this is the same guy. Here he is shortly thereafter, packed on about fucking 30 pounds of contractile tissue, essentially. I don't know, like what would you ballpark that at? You know, you can drop it in the comment section how much you think he gained here. But either way, it's an absurd amount for a guy who obviously, you know, like you're trying to get like picked up by a good college and whatnot too. Like you're obviously in the gym in some capacity, you would imagine. Like I knew guys who were trying to make it in high school in football that were taking fucking D-ball in like grade 10. Like that's the kind of shit you're gonna be doing if you think you have a future in the sport. When you're not being tested, you do. A lot of these guys are like cranking in like grade 10, grade 11. It's fucking wild. So for him to suddenly explode in that year, like, you know, I would be shocked if PEDs weren't involved in this dramatic of a before and after. So achieving this physique, do I think it was naturally attained? And do I think it's just his genetic phenom status? Like, no, I don't. I think the relatively lax testing in the NFL allows for, I don't know, it's like pretty lenient compared to something like the UFC or the Olympics. And even then, those organizations have a lot of people skating under the radar. And, you know, when they do get popped, you know, it's a pretty big deal. But in the NFL, not only is the testing relatively lax, but in addition to that, they don't really focus on people who get popped. Like it's not that much, it's like a slap on the wrist and no one really gives a fuck. Like in certain sports, there's a stigma around it. And you get like, I don't know, like people have had like Hall of Fame entries like ripped away from them because of their previous PED use that like tarnish their legacy. In the NFL, like it seems like no one gives a fuck. You have like guys like Edelman who are just, you know, popping, exceeding 4-to-1 testosterone to epitestosterone ratios and then saying in interviews like, I don't know what happened. And then everyone's like, we don't know either. And he gets a 4-game suspension and then that's fucking it. He's back to killing it on the field in like short order. And in addition to that, if you're wondering about his genetics, you know, obviously very good genetics. He comes from a father who was in the league too. But his father is no stranger to PEDs. He is an individual who was suspended for violating the steroid policy over I don't know, this is almost like this is like 14 years ago at this point. But the fact remains that it did happen. Chicago Bears offensive lineman Terrence Metcalf was suspended for 4 games Monday for violating the league's policy on anabolic steroids-related substances. And again, an example of they don't give a fuck. It's something that happens. Coach Lovie Smith said he's not the first guy in the league to get suspended for this reason, and that's about as much time as we can spend on it. The league says he's suspended 4 games. That's what we'll go with. When you make a mistake like that, there are consequences. They go with it. Will Metcalf still be a Bear when the suspension ends? We see it that way, Smith said. I don't see why he wouldn't be. Like, they don't give a fuck, dude. It's a 4-game suspension. That's how we're looking at it. Hopefully we can get it back. Like that's the extent. Whereas in some sports, they'd be like, what the fuck? Like that's such a, like in the UFC, if somebody got popped for an anabolic steroid, they would get their fucking head taken off by the media for competing in a sport where you're like fighting people and fucking them up. Whereas in football, you're still crashing into people and fucking them up and giving them like permanent brain trauma. But no one gives a fuck for some reason. It's like such a dangerous sport. I don't remember what the average fucking career span is of a NFL player, but it's like, it's short. You know, they're like crashing into each other and shit. Obviously, it depends if you're a lineman or not too. But I mean, like he was a lineman, but you know, to be taking PEDs to get enhanced performance to crash into another guy and like fuck him up, like, you know, it's just crazy how much leniency there is in the league and like how much people don't really seem to care. But anyways, that's just the fact remains is the NFL, like people just don't really seem to care that much. And with this wild transformation by DK, do I think it was achieved naturally? Like I said, I don't think so. I think that he had a dramatic before and after. And again, he's a genetic freak still, regardless of the fact that he may have taken shit or not. Like even how many guys in the league are also doing stuff potentially. I'm not saying he is, you know, but potentially doing it and not getting close to his numbers on any performance metrics, not being close to him in his performance in the games, not close in fucking even making it to the NFL. How many guys cranked their faces off and never even made it to college football? Like, a lot. There are a lot of guys who are amateurs, doing tons of shit that don't make it anywhere, because at the end of the day, he is a genetically blessed freak of an athlete who may have also done some shit, just like his dad did, just like many other NFL players have done who also, didn't get popped, but probably did. This is a sport that is riddled with HGH use, in my opinion. It's also something where bioidenticals can be leveraged relatively, I shouldn't say easily, but it can be leveraged. There is certainly leeway for that. And in addition to that, even the pharmacokinetic profile of certain synthetic agents and a lot of peptides and things that go under the radar entirely, as well as recombinant erythropoietin, autologous blood transfusions, assessing your biological passport, understanding the longitudinal data points for your blood, parameters. That kind of stuff can be fucked with quite heavily if you understand how this stuff works and you are prepared with somebody in your camp who knows what they're doing. So again, having such a freak transformation, does this also play into his ability to retain his physique with such a shitty diet? Potentially, certainly is plausible. Like you would know as well as I, if you're an individual who, falls off your diet, but you're on TRT, or you are blasting shit and you just follow a subpar diet, it's pretty hard to lose muscle, even if you're doing a minimum amount of volume per week, you can hold on to a lot of tissue, even when you're being a lazy bitch, or when you're not, eating the food you should be eating to actually make use of the anabolics, which again, if you're on anabolics, you should be not hurting your fucking organs if you're not actually taking advantage of it. This is something I've talked about and what you should know before you take steroids. I think I did a video a while ago that was called the number one thing you should know before you take steroids. Definitely watch that video, put a card in the corner. So definitely take that to heart if this is something you're gonna be pursuing. And as well, even TRT though, at a base level, something that is, there's fucking rampant TUEs too in the NFL, by the way, for people who are just getting away legally with taking the drugs. There are very far more flexible TUEs in the league than in others. But above and beyond that, the actual bioidentical leveraging within physiologic ranges, even though you have a chronic sustained level that is never dipping, even that is hugely performance enhancing. So if you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, I would recommend watching the first 50 minutes or so of Rogan when I went on. I think it was episode 1744, where we talked about PEDs for quite a while, and I think it was relatively insightful into the advantages that can be had from even base level TRT. And I see this video is getting long-winded, so I don't want to go full board into it again. So I've also done several videos on my channel on PEDs, so you can check those out if you're interested as well. But anyways, the diet, certainly possible that he is sustaining performance and his physique because of hormone assistance. He wouldn't be the only one though, but I do think also he's just a genetic freak athlete who, has paid his dues and put in work and built the physique so he can sustain with a lot less intensive effort, less, work volume, less, adherence to a super high protein diet, and can get away with some shit, infrequently. So that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Pretty fucking wild though. And Kevin Garnett, I think, has the funniest reaction, an expected but hilarious reaction at the same time. So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. All the comments help the algorithm, much appreciated. Like, subscribe, check out my blog, moreplatesportates.com. Follow me on Instagram at moreplatesportates, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the channel, you can check out anything I'm associated with in the video description below. My preventative medicine and hormone replacement therapy platform, where we connect you with high quality medical providers who understand what kind of diagnostics you should be looking at, how to interpret those diagnostics, and actually educating the patient on what the numbers mean, and creating an individualized protocol just for you based on your own individual needs, regardless if it's pharmacology or simple lifestyle manipulations, diet changes, etc. We do it all, as well as self-service labs if you just want to get your blood work yourself with blood panels that I've approved myself and audited. They're pre-designed for you. You can just add those to your cart and check out. Or in addition to that, you can create your own panel using our self-service labs lab builder and get access to high sensitivity assays and whatnot, and things that otherwise typically are only included in giant panels at other companies for $500 and whatnot. We actually let you add like literally just a sensitive assay, total T, or like an equilibrium dialysis free T, or this or that separately, and just check out with that if you want. It's to avoid having to get like a $700 panel if you don't want to get that much. So you can check that out as well. Gorilla Mind, nootropic formulas for cognitive enhancement, mental clarity, information retention. This is the main nootropic formula we have, is the stack that I use to stay mentally locked in, more so from a cognitive flexibility and information retention standpoint than actual stimulating me to be productive. When I need a productivity energy boost though, we do have products geared towards that as well, like Gorilla Mode Energy and some other products that are stim based and go very, very well as a adjunct to the Gorilla Mind nootropic formula I developed. As well, the pre-workout formulas I designed myself from scratch and feature all of the efficacious dosages of all of the different vectors of performance that I deemed appropriate for maxing out a pre-workout. You can check those out at gorillamind.com, as well as anything else I'm associated with. Recommended diet model I'd recommend for gaining muscle and sports performance. Does not feature 3 to 4 bags of candy in one meal a day. It is very, very diversified and designed to maximize your potential, essentially. Also, from a micronutrient intake standpoint, something that would be impossible to max out when you're eating fucking candy all day. In addition, clothing company that sponsors me, anything else I'm associated with, it's all in the video description below. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.